what if your client fills up a form, submits the form, and you immediately send an NDA for them to sign? So they check their inbox, and then they saw this email telling them to sign. Now, at the same time, your CRM picks up this data and updates the status as NDA was sent. So the client view the document to sign, okay, and then he inputs his signature here. And all he have to do to sign is just to click on this button, click on the name button, click on the email button, the date, and then once he's ready, press complete and sign to finish off this document. When he finish up this document, you will receive this email saying that John has signed. At the same time, John will also receive another email that the signing has been completed, and if he view this PDF, he gets this document that he signed earlier with the signing certificate. That's not all. John's status that has signed the NDA will also be reflected in your CRM. So this is the automation that we will be building today, guys. The client NDA automation. And so this video is for Automate January 2026 event by Pabbly. Now, the 4 tools that you need: Pabbly Connect. This is very important for you to automate this whole automation, to orchestrate this whole automation. And then you need FluentForms or any form of your choice. It can be Google Form as well. And then we need to use Documenso in this case. Documenso, if you're not familiar, is an open source alternative to DocuSign. They're very good. You can self-host this if you want. Okay. And last but not least, a CRM of your choice. And we are using HubSpot in this demonstration. Okay. So to get started, we need to understand how the flow works. The lead fills up the form, and then we send the NDA to the client, and then we create a contact in HubSpot. Last but not least, we want to update the property for the contact to show that the NDA has been sent. So how it works is like this. So this is Pabbly Connect version 2 of the builder. It's very nice. I love it. It's very clean. Okay. So we need to set up, number 1, FluentForms. Okay. FluentForm here, if you can see the lightning icon. So this is the trigger. So we need to set up FluentForm as the trigger. Now, usually in a trigger, there is a webhook URL. So what you need to do here is to copy this webhook URL, and you need to paste that into your FluentForm. So assuming you have your FluentForm all set up, so this is how you create a new one. Go to the settings of your form, webhook, and then you click add new. So once you click add new, it will look something like this. Add a name for you to identify this webhook is for which application, and then you paste your webhook URL here, and then don't forget to put the request method as post, because you are posting data over. Okay. Now, once you have this set up already, you just click save. Okay. Now I have mine set up already. Not to forget, you need to enable this webhook integration. So make sure it's green here. Okay. So once you have your FluentForm trigger set up and successfully configured, it means that every time your FluentForm gets completed, that data will be sent to your Pabbly account, and you can then map the data like email address, the name, and all to the next step, and that is the Documenso app. So Documenso here is a custom app. There are a few things that we need from Documenso, and that is the API key. Okay, so where do you get this API key is when you set this up, you need an API key that you can get from the user setting of Documenso. API token, you just have to create, and then you have to paste it into your Pabbly Connect connection manager. Okay, so down here, just paste it here. Okay, and then the app domain here shall remain appdocumenso.com if you're using the cloud version. Otherwise, you just enter the domain where you self-host your Documenso. Okay, now in order for you to get a template ID, you definitely will have to have a template uploaded into Documenso. So once you upload your template, you will be able to see it here as well. Okay, you have to configure all the fields for them to sign, and then once it is here, you can save and test, and then you will have this ID and also the recipient ID. The recipient ID is, you see, yeah, recipient's ID. Okay, so you need these two things. The most important thing is these two. Okay, because you will need to map this into the use template action. So the use template action, number one, you need the template ID and the recipient ID. Remember, I said earlier. Okay, the rest of all the other settings, more of personalization. If you want to redirect the client after they sign, you may do so. That's why earlier you saw that after signing, it was led to this page. Okay, because we personalize certain settings in the uh, action step. Okay, and then once you have all this set up and you save and test, at this moment, at this stage, your client should already receive this email. Now at that moment is where you also want to update your NDA, your contact into CRM. So we take all the data that we got from FluentForm and we create a new contact in HubSpot. So you need to have a HubSpot account, get connected. It's very easy, um, self-explanatory. Just go ahead and get connected, and you map whatever details you have in your Fluent form into your CRM. Now, one thing I want to note here is the NDA status property. So this property is a custom property that we have to set up in HubSpot first. So this property only have two values, NDA sent and NDA completed. So right after we send the document, we want to update this as sent. So that's why this is the final step of the first phase of send NDA on new lead. Okay, that's why the tag or the property has been updated to NDAs sent. Okay. Now, after the client reviews and sign this document, you want to update your CRM. So how do you do that? Now, firstly, after the client sign, we need to ensure that um, Pabbly is able to know. So how does Pabbly know? Because we set Pabbly trigger, or the second workflow, the trigger shall be Documenso. Just like how it was with the Fluent form as the trigger. Now, Documenso's trigger is very similar. You just have to copy the webhook URL, and then you need to paste that webhook into the webhook settings in your Documenso. So create a webhook, and then um, let me show you how it looks like. Paste it here, and the trigger, you need to have it document dot completed. So this is to show that each time your document, your NDA is complete meaning it has been signed. Okay, you see there is signed, there is completed. So what's the difference? Sign means that maybe in that document there are two signers or three signers. So every time one person signs, okay, you will get this email that that person has signed. So it's not the signed one, it's the completed one. Okay, so once the document has been completed, okay, then you want to update into your CRM. So that is why every time this document has been signed or completed, Publi will pick it up, and you will be able to map to your next response. First, you have to search the client who has already completed, and then you need from this search contact, what you need here is actually the ID, the contact ID of that person. So once you have the contact ID of that person, you can now update that person's status. So what is it that you want to update? You want to update the NDA status. The NDA status, you see? NDA status. You want to update it from NDA sent to NDA completed. So at that stage is where you will see your CRM has been updated accordingly, NDA completed. So that is how we automate with Pabbly Connect. So thank you very much for watching, guys.